Welcome back to our series of what an example case looks like for a case interview using a McKinsey case. Welcome back to our series. This is the second video where we're going to walk through the structuring. If you haven't had a chance yet, go back and watch the first video. Otherwise, you're not going to understand the second video. But in the second video, what we're going to do is take what we've already done before. So Rebecca's already done the opening. She's identified the objective. She's identified the business, what they're doing, what they're trying to accomplish with McKinsey. And the second time, she's going to take time to actually pause and think about what's the approach she would take and then share with the interviewer how she plans to solve that problem during the second phase of a case, which is the structuring. So notice how Rebecca organizes her thoughts as well as presents the thoughts to the interviewer. And as a reminder, we're going to go deeper into the structuring, the opening, and every single part of the case in a future video series. But for now, I just want to make sure that you know what a case interview is and what it looks like. So let's dive back in as McKinsey case continues with Rebecca leading it and myself being the interviewer.
Okay, I think I want to look at both internal factors and external factors. So on internal factors, things relating to super soda, I'd want to take a look first at whether this new product, electrolyte, could turn a profit. So first I'd look at what is our expected revenue. How much would we be able to command as a price for electrolyte, and how many units would we expect to sell? The second thing that I want to take a look at is what would our costs be. And in terms of costs, I want to look at both fixed and variable costs. Thirdly, I'd want to take a look at what our break-even point is. So relative to our fixed costs, how many units would we have to sell to break even? The other internal factor that I'd want to take a look at is whether Super Soda has the capabilities to launch electrolyte effectively. I'd want to take a look at marketing capabilities, so whether we could get the word out on electrolyte and attract consumers to the product. Production capabilities, could we make it and get it out to, could we make it and get it out to geographically all over the country? And in terms of distribution channels, would we be able to access the right distribution channels and be able to get it onto the shelf? In terms of external market factors, I'd also like to take a look at two things. I'd like to look at whether there's a strong market for electrolyte, what's the size of the sports drinks markets, what are the segments within the sport drink market space, and are these segments growing over time or not? Lastly, I'd like to take a look at our competition. Who are our competitors? What are their market sizes? What competitive advantages do each of them have? And what reaction might our competitors have to us entering the market?
Great. So those are all fantastic factors to consider. And after sharing it with the leadership team at Super Soda, they've asked our team to help them understand the beverage market and the consumer preference to gauge the potential success. So our team has went ahead and just gathered the following information on the sports drinks market, which I'll share with you. And what this information shows you is an estimate of the share of electrolyte drinks, as well as the current share of two of our competitors, Cool Sweat, as well as Recovery Plus.
So you just watched Rebecca, a former McKinsey engagement manager, go through and present her structure about how she would present a framework or an approach for solving the client's problem. Now that she's laid out the framework, we begin the third part of our case, which is the analysis. So we've gone through the opening where we understand what exactly the client's looking for. We've done the structuring, which is when the consultant will present how they're thinking about solving the problem. And then the analysis is when they actually start to begin to solve the problem. So in a real life case, and I'll explain this in a later series as well, is that the opening is, imagine two people meeting together, one from the firm, let's say McKinsey, and the other from the client, in this case, Super Soda. They meet, talk about the problem. And the structure is when the McKinsey will come through, figure out an approach for how they're thinking about solving the issue and answering Super Soda's prompt. And then finally, the third part, which we'll watch in the next video, is when they finally work together to solve the problem and make a recommendation. So in the next video, video 3 of this series, you're going to watch Rebecca go through the various analyses that she needs to do in order to make a recommendation for the client. All right, I'll see you in the next video.